Good evening and salutations, my Days of Elias fans. Sophia's a creep. Let's just sit there and start off with that. Sophia is a creep. And she's not just a creep. This chick, in a lot of ways, is just desperate and pathetic. Out of all of the high school boys or men or whatever you want to sit there and call them, she is obsessing over Tate. Up until the point where she is over here, she's sitting there eavesdropping on his and Eric's conversation. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Between that, hiding in the bushes, blackmailing, bragging about tattletelling. I'm like, even when I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw the thumbnail, I was like, oh, here we go. But then I just had to sit there and laugh when I was watching the episode because I was just like, damn, this chick is just, oof. But Kate is not there telling Eric about the argument that they had, how she's unhappy that Brady is free, the whole thing. And of course, Eric. So, Eric, that's really odd. Towards their conversation, because they're just, you can watch the episode, they're just kind of talking back and forth about Harley and her feelings, and, Tate's not the defending his dad and everything. But there's one point where Eric is like, listen, at the end of the day, you just got to give her time and space and just be there for her. Now I'm about to go and sit there and try to find her. Oh, just wait. You just told Tate to sit there and give her time and space, but you're going to go and start looking for her? Why don't you take your own advice? Because I feel like in a lot of ways, it's like he's trying to rush this apology, or he's trying to rush her feelings, because, after the whole trial and everything like that, he's going to be going back to Paris. So it's like, I feel like he kind of wants to wrap this up. And it's like, what is it that Eric is expecting out of getting another conversation with her? Because if it's just to make himself feel better, then what was the apology for? The apology was just very selfish. It was just a way to absolve him. You didn't tell her the truth. She found out on her own. She lashed out at you. She heard that you apologized, but she's not ready to hear it right now. So you got to sit there and give this time. You can't sit there and keep getting in her face to try to find absolution to make yourself feel better. Now, Holly's with EJ. And Holly's like, listen, if I can sit there and get some information to kind of speed up this case to get Brady, under the jail at this point, I'll do it. This is where, this episode is, especially this part, it's a little, I'm not really understanding it. Like Holly, not just forgiving EJ for the whole Jude thing and everything like that, but even so much as far as seeing him as a father figure. I'm like, yo, listen, he knew about your brother for months. And I understand that Eric lie and everything like that was far more severe. But I don't think you should just be letting EJ off the hook either. But she does, and she does it in a way where it's like she's embracing him as a surrogate father. And I understand that he did go out his way to, get her to the best medicine and everything like that, and, so she can be up and moving again, and that's great. But let's not sit there and forget that he lied, not just to your mom, because I know she's pissed off at her mom, but to you for months. Well, we're just going to let that all go. Okay. Sarah still doesn't remember. All she can sit there and see is a blurry image. She can't make out that it's Brady, but she can't sit there and make out who it is. And Xander's not there hoping. Xander sitting there hoping that, she's able to ID Brady. Now, this is where I'm very confused with Fiona. Because Fiona's like, Brady is your cousin and stuff like that. So, is there any room in your heart to forgive him like you forgave me? And I'm just like, what are you talking about? Like, why does she want her son to forgive Brady for her? Especially not just even in the long run, like after like some time has passed and stuff, but like right away, like why is she even sitting there pushing for that in the first place? There's a point where she's like, I have a confession to make. Now we know the confession is not her saying that she was the one that hit Sarah, because she's been sweating bullets ever since they ID Brady. I'm not gonna sit there and say what it is because people have said this in the chat, and I don't want to sit there and start spreading rumors. I have a theory, well, not even really a theory, just what people have said. But I'm very curious about um, what it is that she has to confess. Xander goes to see Brady. He has a baseball bat. And at this point, Brady's like, listen, just do it. Whatever you guys sit there and do. Which is really odd, right? Because Brady was with Kristen. And, after Kristen was like, let's sit there and revisit the custody arrangement and stuff like that. My daughter, our daughter misses you. She's smart. And she wants her father to sit there and fight for her. He agrees to do it. He's like, listen, because at one point he's like, I'm just going to throw myself at the mercy of the court. She's like, no, don't do that. You have kids. You have to be there for them. You have to sit there and fight. So he agrees to do that. But then when Xander gets there and he's ready to threaten him with a baseball bat, Ray's like, all right, do what you got to do. Well, 5 minutes ago, you were just sitting there saying that you were going to fight for your kids. What happened? What changed in the 5 minutes that you talked to Kristen? Then you seeing Brady with a baseball bat. He already wrote a letter of resignation and everything, and now you're just going to let him just beat the living hell out of you? I don't know. Like, this is exactly what I'm sitting there talking about. Why is Fiona pushing for Xander to forgive Brady? Why did Brady just decide within under 5 minutes, okay, I'm just going to just give up? And then Eric comes to see Sarah. And Eric's like, I'm here for Brady and stuff. And Sarah's like, yeah, but, and they talk and they have this peaceful conversation. And I guess they used to be involved and, they're happy that they're in good places in their lives. And they're hugging it out and everything. And I guess part of me, it just, I know that Sarah's like, me being upset with Brady is not going to help me walk faster. It's not going to get me out this wheelchair. It's not going to do anything. But like, she's not upset with Brady. She's not upset with Eric supporting Brady. It's like this level of kumbaya that, I say this all the time. I'm not really getting. I get it. Not everyone has the same reaction. Some people will be mad as hell, and other people will just sit there and just kind of contemplate and kind of be somewhat in the middle. But I guess it's just very odd for her to sit there and just have this level of, well, it is what it is. Especially when you have a daughter. If this was just her, that's one thing, but it changes your life and it changes the way that you're going to be raising your daughter. So, I don't know. There's a point where Kristen talks to Marlena, and Kristen's like, well, first of all, she comes over there about some sort of grandpa day or grandparents day, whatever, for Rachel. And then she also talks about how she's going to revisit the custody agreement. So this way Brady could sit there and see, Rachel more. And Marlena's kind of like a little kind of skeptic, like, you're just doing it because it's the right thing to do, just because Brady may be facing prison and stuff. And part of me's like, does it matter really why? I mean, if Brady gets to sit there and have more access to Rachel, no matter what it is, it's worth it. So I don't know if you should really be sitting there kind of digging too deep into this. I mean, she knows it has something to do with the fact that, Kristen still loves Brady. But regardless, What the reason is, he gets to spend more time with his little girl. So that's the important part. And part of me just cannot believe just how dumb Tate is. Because Tate isn't there talking about Holly and her anger and everything like that and how they're at odds because of his dad. And Sophia is clearly, just looking hella sus, talking about, oh well, I understand you supporting your dad and everything, and like she just comes across as super fake, and she's trying to be really supportive. Like, well, just to let you know, I'm always here for you, bro. Wasn't this the same chick that was sitting there trying to hit on you last time? And now she's talking about how she wants to sit there and be like super supportive and everything. There's one point where it's like he turns around and it looks like she's like trying to touch all over him. I'm like, you can't sit there and say that this chick is playing you. I understand that he's in high school, and I can get the level of naiveness to some extent, but clearly this chick wants you, and you're just playing right into her hands. We all see where this is going to go. Those two are already at odds, and Sophia is just waiting to pounce. And he, being the naive kid that he is going to sit there and take the bait. Which, to be honest, I really don't care. But since they're gonna just throw more of this teen crap on here, it is what it is. I'm trying not to be too negative about it, but I am so not interested in this part. Anyway, I feel like there's more to talk about, but that is the general gist of the episode. Now, if I missed anything, let me know in the comment section below. Or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital, Bold and the Beautiful, Young and the Restless. With that being said, I'm going to go. I'll see you in the next video.